Alright guys, today we're going to be covering the three main key things that a Yu-Gi-Oh deck needs to perform competitively, be good, and work great. Now, there are 3 to 4 main elements really of Yu-Gi-Oh that should be involved in your decks. Now we're going to go over the first one, summon power. Now, to play competitively, you need summon power. So for example, Giant into Golem, you know how that's going to work. And that's going to bring him out, or if you want to throw in this guy into it, go 3, and that's whatever. That's just, summon power is one of the biggest key portions, because without monsters, you can't drain your opponent's life points down, except unless you use things like burn decks, which, well, nobody likes burn decks. But other examples of summon power that we have is like Tin Goldfish and Goblinberg. As you know, they're both good, effective cards that both work really nicely. Different timings when their effects can be used. But, it still can very much allow good playability off these when combined with other monsters like this, and they can make rank 4s and go for stuff like that, and then go for some big blast effect or whatever, like from Excite-A-Night. Another thing is search power, draw power, and that actually plays in with this guy, Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, yeah, you do have to ditch a card from your hand, but that's really not that bad of a decision, considering you get to summon a monster from your deck. So it just thins out your deck, speeds your deck up just a little bit more, gets that +1 out of the deck. If you go for Ghost, get Giant and Golem out of the grave, just stuff like that. You can get some nice, good, positive speed boosts off of that right there. Another example of good search and draw power would be this guy here, Molten Zombie. When it's special summoned from the graveyard, draw a card. There's a summon power, summon this, you draw. So, it's really not a bad card per se. Just run, 3 Call the Haunted just to make sure that you can get this guy back to the field as much as you possibly can. And that's what I plan on doing with running this new deck that I'm coming up with. It will take a while to develop it, but I'm going to develop it. It's going to be good, it's going to be strong, and I promise you, it's going to be pretty epic. So that goes into the whole summon thing. Now, search and draw power. Things like Upstart Goblin, Reinforcement of the Army. You want to be able to speed your deck up as much as possible. Upstart, sure, it gives your opponent 1,000 life points, but you do get to go that +1, and of course, that's not a bad thing when you can go to that +1, and when you make it worth it, it's amazing. Or, search for something you need with something like Rhoda, or like if you're playing Heretics, Heretics Seal of Convocation, you just whatever. Another big portion is removal and control. Things like MST, it's very control card, it's very control aspect, but it is removal, and it gets rid of stupid things, like Royal Decree, just really stupid derpy stuff that can be a pest. Other forms of control, you have compulsory evacuation device, torrential, bottomless, mirror force, just the traditional stuff that really goes into stuff that you need. Obviously, for search and summon power, you got that. Summoner Monk. You can get a lot of things for removal. Of course, your summon power stuff. So, in essence, summon power equals you getting their monsters out the field, allowing you to control more of the field and making it harder for them to get over you, to beat you and drain your life points down. But, if you don't have very good summon power, you don't get to control the field as much. And if you want to get faster control, be able to get stuff done faster, search, removal, search and draw makes the decks just really fast, and it makes them play a lot better and a lot smoother just because you have that aspect of the deck, and that really, to me, makes all the difference in a duel. Being able to just speed that deck up just a little bit, even if it's just like go +1 or +2, you can still speed the deck up significantly. And control cards like these, they also suit up as removal with MST. So that certainly is never a bad play, never a bad decision. Just because of the sole fact that when you play these cards, you get rid of your opponent's shit and you just kind of control the game a little bit more. And it's not going into full aspect of full control like Vanity's Emptiness, Imperial Iron Wall, just like stuff like that can completely shut decks down. You side deck that stuff because that's the key breakers of certain decks. And it's something you side deck. You don't want to main deck it because when you're playing a deck that does summon and special summon quite a bit, you don't play stuff like that. Or if you're playing a deck that has removal, you're not going to go and play Iron Wall in a deck that actually focuses on removal. Like if you're playing zombies, you don't want Iron Wall because that's really just going to shut half your deck down. So again, you want to have that stuff side decked, but you want to have main deck field control, and that's really what drives a lot of the victories that you will have in Yu-Gi-Oh, especially in the metagame, is when you get these aspects of field control. There's not really a lot of stuff that can give you like proper field control, but there certainly is enough that allows people to win. And when they have the main stuff, Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, all that shit, that's all the main standard staples, Dark Hole, everything like that, all main standards. And if you're not playing that, you're just gonna have a bit of a crappy time. But in essence, that's the 3 to 4 major keys that you need in a deck. Summon power is number 1. See, got the 1 position. 2, speed and searchability. And 3, removal and control. Those are the things that you need the most in any deck. And you can play some random ass deck, but as long as you have those 3 elements, those 3, you can win, you can perform good, and you can come out on the top. And if you don't have that, you're going to come out on the bottom as a 0, and it's just going to give you a much harder time. It's going to make your dueling experience and your dueling career much, much harder for you overall. So, that's pretty much the point of this video. You make your decks to the best of those 3 categories, and you will do fine in a meta environment. And if one setup doesn't work, switch and swap, switch and swap. You don't want to stay stagnant on something that doesn't work all the time. And monsters and summon ability, if it's slow, speed it up. If you don't get very much control and you have too much of this and too much of this, but you don't get much of this defense, swap, defense. Or vice versa, too much defense, not enough of this, just swap and swap. Plain and simple. If you lack this and you have too much of this, get rid of this, put this in. Or if you lack this and you have too much of this, swap, swap. Vice versa. Too much of this, not enough of this, swap, swap. Plain and simple. You want to be able to formulate the deck's ratios around what you're going to do, what you plan on doing, and what's going to work effectively for your pace of the deck and what the deck is supposed to do. If you have too much of this and not enough of this, you're going to get too much of this and you're going to be fine for a little while, but you're not going to get this to protect you when these aren't eligible to be used anymore. Or if you get too much of this, you're just going to get all this, but you're not going to have any backup to help you summon when you search. So just checks and balances, checks and balances. I'm pretty sure you guys get the point. Anyways, it is 3:30 in the morning. Hopefully I will be able to get on Deanne at some point and maybe record some more videos. Hopefully, Christmas time I'll be able to start getting back to recording. Yeah, because I miss it. I really miss it. So just leave a like and a comment down below if you enjoyed, and also leave any ideas and stuff that you guys want to add to this discussion, or deck ideas or something like that you guys want to leave me, or if you found this very helpful, just leave that like, leave that comment, and it would help me out so much that I would rape you in the face. No, I'm kidding. I don't swing that way. I don't roll that way. Yeah, I don't roll that way. So, yeah, bitch.